Hey, I'm Lee, and we are here today to do the framing checklist with Sean. We're gonna walk through here. I have this list, and we're just gonna make sure that everything is done the way it's supposed to be done. Everything looks the way it's supposed to look according to the plans. This is not only just checking to make sure that things are done correctly and things were not missed, it's also quality control. When you're doing these checklists, it's not something that you want to rush through. You kind of want to take your time. It benefits you to just kind of go room by room. So if I notice anything, now's the time to get it fixed. You want to be prepared for your inspection so that you're not scrambling, because you already know about it. You might as well go ahead and take care of it. So a framing checklist, you obviously come in here 2 or 3 times a week, so I'm already familiar with what's happened, what hasn't happened.
Yeah.
At the very end, I want to make sure some of the things that I have seen have been completed and done. So already in my mind, I got a bunch of stuff I know I'm looking for. So I've got a pretty big gap there, and we're going to have to go ahead and add strips of plywood to close that in. It's pretty much the whole house, other than the gables. He'll need to add that rips of plywood. So that was one thing. He's already done the water table, so that's all good. So when the roofer shows up, he can go ahead and get that. And from what I've learned, that's something easy that people overlook, is that water table, or any water table for that matter. As I'm walking around, I'm checking to make sure all the windows are cut in. It seems obvious, but they do miss those. You're just basically looking at everything to make sure nothing's missing, or you don't want to look up there and see a fly rafter that's wacky, or if you might see some plywood that's not nailed. Another important thing is to make sure his stiff knees are good, because you don't want one of these roofs to fall down. He still needs to add his tape on this, looking at the vents and make sure that there's nothing that's kicked in or broken. So in this, he needs to pack out this beam. He started right here, but he's still got some more work to do on that to get it right. Before I go in, I just want to double check that stuff. So when they're nailing off the floor, our requirements are ring shank nails. The only way to find out if they actually use them is you're going to have to pull one out. It doesn't specify here that it's supposed to be a ring shank. It says it in the scopes of work. Another thing that I like to do is I tell the framer this, to check his studs, especially everywhere, but especially where the cabinets are going. And if he has anything that's really bad, he needs to fix it. It'll affect the cabinets. This is not a big deal if it's got if it's bowed.
As long as it's
as long as it's straight, and I'm not worried about it, because he's going to put blocking in here.
Yeah.
This will get supported. This will get straightened out a little bit. So because we got all kinds of blocking going in this. Another thing I'm a stickler about is making sure that they have their deadwood, like an end of a wall. I like to make sure that they have deadwood up there that's sticking out far enough. That way the drywall guy's got plenty to nail to. And then when you're checking these windows, you obviously want to make sure that he's framed them the right size. The engineer says either move this window a minimum of 2 foot for the shear panel to the corner, or you got to do portal frame the header. So that has to be done because it's called out by the engineer. I make sure that the door plates are cut out, the jack should be tight. You shouldn't have any gaps. So that needs to be nailed so it's tighter, or something's, to keep air from flowing through there. So I'm gonna spray that orange. Whether or not he can get that tight, I don't know. If he can't, then I might just put some spray foam in it, or I might caulk it. If I see too many of these nails sticking out, I'll flag those too and be like, man, you need to pull those out, because that doesn't look good. I used to frame in Apex, and a guy would come around with a playing card. If he could slide a playing card in there, he would fail you. The key is to get a framer that you work well with, who understands what you expect, and building relationships with people. And obviously, it's not only people at the county or customers, but it's trade partners that you work with. When you build up a good relationship with them, they know how you want things done. They know how the company you work for expects things to be done. So you can get the work done that you need to get done correctly the first time.